Kenya is endowed with some of the world's most iconic species of wildlife, and our participation in this conference provides opportunity to strengthen our country's resolve to eradicate illegal wildlife trade, to build coalitions, and to find solutions to better protect our wildlife. This is in line with this year's theme that calls on us to step up our efforts to change. Change involves brokering agreements between diverse stakeholders of similar conviction to stand together in a cause we believe in. The objectives of this conference resonate with Kenya's pursuit for sustainable development, which requires diverse interventions to protect our natural habitat. It requires building highly capable and functional institutions, as well as putting in place robust policies supported by commensurate resource allocation. It also requires us to consider new and innovative ways to combat sophisticated crime triangles and more research to inform practical policy interventions and to raise public awareness. Distinguished guests, Kenya has been able to reduce the level of poaching of iconic species considerably in the last 3 years. Our elephant population currently stands at over 34,000, while the rhino population stands at over 1,000. These are the fourth and third largest country populations in the world, respectively. In recent years, we have seen a notable decline in poaching in Kenya, largely due to enhanced wildlife law enforcement efforts and government investment in anti-poaching. We have revamped and improved training and equipped Kenya Wildlife Service ranger forces that continuously evict poacher elements from the parks. We have also strengthened collaboration with institutional networks and law enforcement agencies on fighting wildlife crime, including the judiciary, alongside local, regional, and international stakeholders, and most importantly, the local communities. Kenya is committed to eliminate markets and reduce demand for illegal wildlife trade through burning of ivory and rhino stockpiles. We have found it to be an impactful technique to deter the poaching of elephants and suppressing illegal ivory trade. Since 1989 to date, Kenya has burned a total of 137 tons of ivory and 1.5 tons of rhino horn. Kenya is a key transit hub within the region to international destinations. Various illegal wildlife specimens, mainly elephant ivory, rhino horn, pangolin scales, are transited through our ports. However, the application of strong and deterrent prison sentences have worked well to reduce illegal trade in wildlife. In addition, we have enhanced cross-border collaboration within the region and made appeals on the global front to encourage countries to join our efforts to close market demands for illegal trade. We congratulate those countries who have pledged their support towards this effort. Nonetheless, illegal trafficking of ivory, rhino horn, pangolin scales, among others, still persists through various sea and airports. This is a setback to our resolve and determination to completely wipe out illegal trafficking and sale of wildlife products in order to attain zero poaching levels. To this end, we have identified 5 critical areas that require support from our wildlife conservation partners to enhance our law enforcement capacity to deal with illegal wildlife trade. These include enhancement of capacity of our forensic laboratory to support law enforcement, leading to successful prosecutions, improvement of our stockpile management system, enhancement of our law enforcement at ports of entry and exit, human-wildlife conflict mitigation, and the establishment of the population status and distribution of pangolin, which is fast emerging as a highly traded species. The Kenya government intends to step up its efforts to tackle this organized crime by supporting international law enforcement efforts and further by collaborating with local communities to increase their investment towards protection of our iconic species. We call on every effort to enhance our intelligence and investigation networks to win this war. To this end, Kenya further plans to advance conservation education by holding programs with key stakeholders in order to mitigate the human-wildlife conflicts and enhance wildlife-human coexistence. We applaud the work that our media has played in profiling stories and supporting advocacy campaigns within local communities. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to adding Kenya's voice to support our joint pledge towards this global fight and reaffirm Kenya's commitment at all levels to support the IWT conference declarations at the conclusion of this conference. I thank you.
The work of conservation and environmental protection is not about quick wins, and it is work that will never be complete. The atmosphere will never be protected forever. Our water will never be permanently safe from pollution. And our iconic and endangered species can never be declared completely safe. That's what we're here to talk about today. This is the stuff of decades of hard work. It requires small, incremental steps, the occasional big leap forward, and resilience in the face of setbacks. We must celebrate our successes and take confidence from our ability to tackle these complex challenges. Since we first gathered here in London 4 years ago, we have achieved a great deal. Governments around the world, particularly China, the US, and UK, have taken unprecedented steps to legislate against the ivory trade. The price of ivory has fallen by a staggering 75%. 19 African range states now stand united through the Elephant Protection Initiative to protect their elephant populations and put ivory beyond economic use. It is time to treat the illegal wildlife trade as the serious organized crime that it is. It is carried out by ruthless cross-border criminal networks. It is fueled by corruption. It damages economic growth and sustainable development. It undermines governance and the rule of law. It robs communities today of their future sources of income. And it exploits the poorest people in some of the most vulnerable countries on earth. I feel it is my duty and our collective responsibility to leave our planet in a stronger position for our children. Thank you.
We'll be starting in about 3 minutes. We're just waiting for some arrival.
Together, the countries that carry the most elephants in all of
the EBI countries have prepared long-term plans for elephant.
Meeting of the Elephant Protection Initiative Consultative Group. I have the great honor.
Cambridge, my dear colleagues, I feel that you have, seen and heard too much from me. But there's a lot to say, and I'm very, first time, very glad as In many ways, we have come full circle. The API was established behind a common cause. 4 years ago, here at the first, I talk without action, or do we act together to lead in 2010, and by 2014, almost nothing remained the plan. No one owned the plan. We are now an inexorable force, and we are making progress both here in EPI member states and beyond. And EPI member states have put an inaugural consultative group are here to put in place. And if it takes diverse interests and collaborators to give life, NEAPs have been fully developed